For over 90 years, the word Silver Arrow has represented some of Mercedes-Benz's most legendary racing machines. The name dates back to 1934 when Mercedes prepared its W25 Grand Prix car for competition. The regulations limited cars to a maximum weight of 750 kilograms, but the W25 came in just 1 kilogram overweight. According to the famous story, Mercedes engineers worked overnight removing the traditional white paint from aluminum body panels. By the morning, the bare aluminum shimmered under the lights, giving the car a striking silver appearance. The W25 won its first race, and from that moment, Mercedes racing cars became known as the Silver Arrows. The heritage continued through decades of motorsport success, from Juan Manuel Fangio's Formula One victories to the dominant Sauber Mercedes endurance racers at the modern AMG Formula One team. Mercedes doesn't use the Silver Arrow name often, but when it does, it marks something truly special. The SL63 AMG Silver Arrow edition is one of those cars. Now let's talk about why Mercedes-Benz built that car. By the late 2000s, the R230 SL class was approaching the end of its production run. Mercedes wanted the final, unforgettable version that celebrated both SL luxuries and the AMG performance while paying a tribute to its motorsport history. Rather than increasing the horsepower, Mercedes focused on exclusivity. The Silver Arrow edition received unique paint, exclusive interior materials, carbon fiber trim, special badging, and bespoke design touches unavailable on many standard SL63 AMGs. For collectors, that's exactly what makes this car desirable today. It's not simply an SL63 with different wheels. It's one of the final chapters of the R230 story. Now let's talk about the R230 generation. When the R230 debuted in 2001, it completely changed what a luxury roadster could be. Instead of choosing between a sports car and a Grand Tourer, Mercedes created a car that could do both. One press of a button and it transformed from a quiet coupe into an open-top roadster in just seconds. The folding aluminum hardtop was revolutionary at the time. Inside, it was packed with luxury features that many rivals didn't offer. It had ventilated seats, adaptive suspension, cruise control, and premium audio. Think about it. Back then, that's crazy technology. And technology still felt impressive more than a decade later. The SL wasn't designed to be a comfortable car or extreme. It was designed to cross continents at high speed while keeping both the passengers completely relaxed. And that's exactly what it does. AMG steps in. While the standard SL was already quick, AMG had bigger ambitions. The engineers in Affalterbach transformed it into the SL63 AMG. Under the hood sits one of AMG's greatest naturally aspirated engines. A hand-built 6.2-liter V8 producing just over 500 horsepower. No turbochargers and no hybrid assistance, just displacement, engineering, and the unforgettable soundtrack. Every throttle input delivers an instant response. Every gear change reminds you that this isn't an ordinary luxury convertible, it's an AMG, and you can really feel it. Now, what are my first impressions? Walking up to the Silver Arrow edition, it's immediately obvious this isn't a standard SL63. The exclusive Silver Arrow metallic paint almost glows under the sunlight. The polished AMG wheels perfectly complement the body. The proportions remain timeless. Long hood, short rear deck, and the white stance. Even after all these years, the design has not aged. It still turns heads wherever it goes. Unlike many modern supercars that rely on sharp angles and oversized wings, the SL63's glance comes from clear lines One of the reasons why the R320 has aged so gracefully is because Mercedes has never chased trends. While many modern sports cars from the early 2000s now look dated, the SL still has that timeless elegance that could easily be mistaken for a much newer car. The front end is unmistakably AMG. A large chrome grille proudly wears the iconic three-pointed star flanked by xenon headlamps that were among the most advanced lighting systems of their time. The long hood stretches far ahead of the driver, giving the car a true grand touring stance while subtly hinting at the massive V8 hidden underneath. As long as you move around the front bumper, you'll notice the enlarged AMG air intakes. Unlike decorative vents found on many modern performance cars, these are actually functional, directing airflow to keep the engine and braking system cool during spirited driving. The aggressive lower splitter isn't just for appearance either. It improves stability when cruising at autobahn speeds. Now, looking at the side profile, the Silver Arrow edition reveals why the SL has been considered one of the most beautiful AMGs ever made. Now, let's talk about the exclusive Silver Arrow edition features. This isn't just an SL63 AMG with a special badge. Mercedes gave the Silver Arrow edition a collection of exclusive details that immediately separate it from any other R320 on the road. The most obvious is the Silver Arrow metallic paint, a finish inspired by the legendary Mercedes racing cars. Under direct sunlight, it has an almost liquid appearance, reflecting light differently from standard silver paint. The wheels are another signature feature. Multi-spoke AMG alloys perfectly fill the wheel arches while showcasing the enormous AMG braking system hiding beneath them. Small Silver Arrow badges appear throughout the vehicle, reminding you that this isn't a standard production SL. Carbon fiber exterior accents further distinguish the car, adding just enough motorsport inspiration without compromising its luxury image. Unlike many limited editions that rely on stickers or graphics, Mercedes kept everything understated. It's exclusively without trying too hard. Now, let's talk about the folding hardtop. Perhaps the most impressive feature of the R320 remains its fully automatic retractable hardtop. Today, many manufacturers have returned to soft-top convertibles to reduce weight and cost, but when the R320 debuted, Mercedes wanted the best of both worlds. At the touch of the button, the roof disappears into the trunk in roughly 16 seconds, transforming the car from a luxurious coupe into a sleek roadster. The engineering behind the system is remarkable. Multiple hydraulic cylinders operate in perfect sequence, folding the aluminum roof panels with incredible precision. Watching the mechanism operate never gets old. Roof up, you enjoy the quietness and security of a luxury coupe. Roof down, the SL becomes an open-air grand tourer that lets you hear every note from the naturally aspirated V8. It's like owning two completely different cars in one package. Now open the heavy driver's door and you're welcomed by one of Mercedes-Benz's finest interiors of the era. Unlike many performance cars that sacrifice comfort for speed, the SL surrounds you with luxury from every angle. The exclusive Silver Arrow edition features premium Napa leather finished with contrasting stitching that immediately feels special. The seats are large enough for long-distance comfort while still providing excellent support during spirited driving. Everything you touch feels expensive. The soft leather, the real aluminum, genuine carbon fiber, and the solid switchgear. There's a reassuring weight to every button and every control. Nothing feels cheap, nothing feels rushed. This was Mercedes at a time when build quality was one of its biggest priorities. Now let's talk about the driving position. Slide into the driving seat and you'll notice how long you sit behind the steering wheel. The view over the long hood is spectacular. It constantly reminds you that there's a massive AMG engine just ahead of you. The multifunction steering wheel feels thick and perfectly sized. Pause. Large aluminum paddle shifters sit behind it, allowing manual gear changes whenever you want to take control. Now, visibility is surprisingly good for a sports roadster, making the SL easy to drive through city streets. Despite its wide stance, everything falls within natural reach. Mercedes clearly designed the cockpit around the driver rather than simply adding luxury features. Technology ahead of its time. Considering this car is now well over a decade old, its technology remains remarkably impressive. The command infotainment system controls navigation, media, vehicle settings, and climate functions. In a car this old, think about dual-zone automatic climate control keeps both occupants comfortable regardless of the outside temperatures. Heated and ventilated seats make the car enjoyable throughout the year. The premium Harman Kardon sound system delivers excellent audio quality, even when the roof is folded down. The car is assisted with parking sensors during low-speed maneuvers, while adaptive suspension constantly adjusts itself to changing road conditions. Many of these features were considered cutting-edge when this car was introduced. Today, they still contribute to an effortless driving experience. Now let's talk about the attention to detail. What truly separates the Silver Arrow edition from ordinary cars is the attention to detail. Look closely and you'll discover unique stitching patterns, exclusive trim pieces, special badging, and carefully selected materials that aren't available on the standard SL63 models. Mercedes didn't simply build a faster SL, they built a collector's piece. Every time you sit inside, you're reminded that this isn't just transportation. From every angle, the SL63 AMG Silver Arrow edition perfectly balances elegance and performance to remind everyone that a hand-built AMG V8 is waiting beneath the hood. And while the exterior and the interior are undeniably impressive, the real magic begins the moment you start the button. Because under that sculpted hood sits one of AMG's greatest engines ever built, or the heart of the beast, Part 3. Up until now, we've admired the styling, appreciated the craftsmanship, and explored the luxury that makes the Silver Arrow edition so special. But none of that explains why enthusiasts dream about owning one of these. To understand that, we need to open the hood, because what's underneath the hood isn't just another AMG engine, it's one of the greatest naturally aspirated V8s ever built, the legendary M156 V8. Sitting beneath the long aluminum hood is the famous 6.2-liter M156 V8. Interestingly, Mercedes officially called it a 6.3 AMG, even though its displacement is 6,208 cc. The 6.3 badge wasn't chosen because of engine size. It was a tribute to the legendary Mercedes-Benz 300 SEL 6.3 from the late 1960s, a luxury sedan that shocked the automotive world by combining limousine comfort with sports car performance. The M156 was also a milestone for AMG. Before this engine, AMG mainly modified existing Mercedes engines. The M156 changed everything. It became the first engine designed entirely by AMG from the ground up, making it a landmark in the company's history. Every engine was assembled by hand in a Falterbach, following AMG's famous philosophy: one man, one engine. Each technician built an engine from start to finish before attaching their signature plaque to the top of the engine cover. That plaque isn't just decoration, it's a reminder that a skilled craftsman personally built the engine sitting in front of you. Now let's talk power figures. The Silver Arrow edition produces around 518 horsepower, 630 newton meters of torque, and it goes from 0 to 100 in approximately 4.5 seconds. Think about that. Electronically limited top speed of 250 kilometers an hour. Those figures remain impressive even today, but numbers only tell just a part of the story. Modern turbocharged engines may produce more power on paper. What they often can't replicate is the way the engine delivers it. Naturally aspirated character, press the throttle gently and the engine responds instantly. There's no turbo lag, no delay, and no waiting. Your right foot is directly connected to the crankshaft. The faster you press, the faster the engine responds. Below 3000 RPM, it's refined and relaxed. Above 4000 RPM, the engine starts to come alive. Now, if we're talking past 6000 RPM, it transforms to something truly unforgettable. It's not artificially enhanced through speakers, it's real mechanical sound, and that's becoming increasingly rare. Now let's talk about the AMG exhaust note. One of the biggest reasons why enthusiasts still search for cars powered by the M156 is the soundtrack. Start the engine on a cold morning and it immediately settles into a deep aggressive idle. Blip the throttle, the revs rise instantly before falling back with a satisfying burble. The sound isn't overly loud, it's authentic. Modern turbocharged AMGs are incredibly fast, but many enthusiasts still believe nothing sounds quite like a naturally aspirated V8. Now let's talk about the 7-speed AMG transmission. Power is sent to the rear wheels through AMG's 7G Tronic speed shift automatic transmission. Unlike today's dual clutch gearboxes, this transmission wasn't built solely for lightning fast lap times. Mercedes wanted something that balanced performance with luxury. In comfort mode, shifts are smooth and nearly invisible, perfect for long highway journeys. Now if you switch it to sport or manual mode, the gearbox becomes noticeably sharper. It might not be as quick as today's AMG 9-speed transmission, but it suits the personality of the SL perfectly. This is a Grand Tourer. It's designed to cover hundreds of kilometers effortlessly while still delivering excitement when the road opens up. Now let's talk suspension and ride quality. One of the R230's most advanced features was active body control, better known as ABC suspension. Instead of relying on traditional anti-roll bars, Mercedes used a hydraulic system that actively controlled body movement. The result was remarkable. Push the car into a fast corner and it stays astonishingly flat. Cruise over rough roads and it absorbs imperfections with limousine-like comfort. Few cars in this era could combine comfort and handling so effectively. However, ABC is also one of the most talked about ownership considerations. When properly maintained, it's an engineering masterpiece. If it's neglected, the repairs can become very expensive. For anyone considering buying one, a thorough inspection of the hydraulic system is essential. Now, let's move on to performance on the road. The moment you accelerate, the Silver Arrow edition reminds you that it isn't just a luxury convertible. The torque arrives immediately. The steering wheel is predictable. This isn't just a car that constantly demands your attention. Instead, it works with you, making fast driving feel effortless. Now, whether you're cruising along the Corniche in Abu Dhabi, driving through the mountain roads of Jebel Jais, or considering long distances on Sheikh Zayed Road, the SL63 always feels in its element. Modern AMG models, they're faster, more efficient, packed with advanced technology, but cars like the SL63 represent something many believe we have lost: a large, naturally aspirated V8, hydraulic steering feel, mechanical character, minimal electronic intervention. Every journey feels more involving. That's why values of the well-kept naturally aspirated AMG models continue to attract enthusiasts and collectors. The Silver Arrow edition is not defined by horsepower alone. It's defined by emotion, the handcrafted V8, the instant throttle response, the unforgettable soundtrack, the way it makes every drive feel special. And when the driving experience is extraordinary, owning a rare AMG isn't just about enjoying it on the road. It's also about understanding what it takes to keep one in top condition. Which brings us to part 4: ownership, reliability, buying guide, and final verdict. By now, it's easy to understand why the SL63 AMG Silver Arrow has become such a desirable car. It combines timeless styling, handcrafted AMG engineering, and one of the greatest naturally aspirated V8s ever built. Owning a car like this isn't just about turning heads, it's about understanding what you're buying. If you're considering adding one to your collection or simply just dreaming about owning one someday, there are few important things you should know, which brings us to reliability. Let's get one thing out of the way. The M156 engine has earned a reputation for being one of AMG's best engines, but like any high-performance power plant, it's not completely without flaws. One of the most talked about issues on early M156 engines is the head bolt problem. Some early engines used head bolts that could corrode over time, potentially leading to head gasket issues. Mercedes updated the design in later production, and many surviving cars have already had the revised bolts installed. Another known concern is camshaft adjuster wear. If ignored, it can lead to timing-related issues and expensive repairs. Fortunately, it's a well-documented problem, and many specialist workshops know exactly how to diagnose and fix it. The good news, if these known issues have been addressed and the car has been serviced properly, the M156 is capable of covering very high mileage while continuing to deliver exceptional performance. The key is maintenance, not neglect. Now let's move on to active body control, ABC. Early in the review, we talked about Mercedes' revolutionary ABC suspension. When it's working properly, it's brilliant. The car corners flatter than you'd expect from a luxury Grand Tourer while still delivering an incredibly comfortable ride. However, it's also one of the most expensive systems to repair if maintenance has been ignored. Now, before buying one, inspect the car carefully for suspension warning messages, uneven ride height, hydraulic fluid leaks, noises from the hydraulic pump, and excessive bouncing. A healthy ABC system transforms the driving experience, while a neglected one can quickly become expensive. Now let's move on to the folding hardtop. The retractable roof is one of the R230's greatest features, but it's also one of the most complicated. Thousands of moving parts, hydraulic components, sensors, and all seals have to work perfectly together. When inspecting a car, always operate the roof several times. Watch for hesitation and listen to unusual noises. Check that the windows seal correctly once the roof is closed. Water leaks around the roof seals are usually caused by aging rubber rather than major mechanical failures, and they're still worth checking before handing over your money. Now, let's talk about service costs. There's no point pretending this is an inexpensive car to maintain. Even though prices on the used market may seem attractive, servicing should still be approached like the six-figure luxury AMG it once was. Routine maintenance includes high-quality synthetic engine oil, genuine oil filters, spark plugs, air filters, cabin filters, brake fluids, transmission servicing, differential oil, coolant, hydraulic fluid for the ABC system, and much more. Cutting corners rarely saves money in the long run. Buying genuine or high-quality OEM parts and sticking to the maintenance schedule will almost always cost less than repairing major failures caused by neglect. Now let's move on to fuel economy. Let's be honest, nobody buys a 6.2-liter naturally aspirated AMG expecting hybrid-like fuel economy. Around town, you'll see the fuel gauge move surprisingly quick, but on the highway, things improve significantly, especially if you're cruising comfortably with the roof up. If you're enjoying the V8 soundtrack, don't expect impressive fuel economy, and honestly, that's part of the experience. Is it comfortable? Absolutely. This is where the SL63 separates itself from many other sports cars. You could comfortably drive from Abu Dhabi to Dubai, continue to Ras Al Khaimah, and still step out feeling refreshed. The seats are supportive. Cabin insulation is excellent when the roof is up. Even at high speeds, the car feels stable, refined, and composed. It's a proper Grand Tourer. Is it a future classic? Many enthusiasts would agree it already is. Naturally aspirated AMG engines are no longer being produced. Large displacement V8s are becoming increasingly rare. Limited edition Mercedes models, like the Silver Arrow, are even rarer. Collectors are beginning to appreciate cars from this era, not just for their performance, but for their character. It's one of the last AMGs built before downsizing, hybrid assistance, and increasingly strict emission regulations, which changed the automotive landscape. This makes cars like this incredibly special. Now, who should buy one? This isn't the ideal car for someone looking for the cheapest way into AMG ownership. Instead, it's the perfect car for someone who appreciates craftsmanship, exclusivity, and the emotional connection that comes from the naturally aspirated V8. If you enjoy your weekend drives, road trips, classic Mercedes engineering, and a car that starts conversations wherever it goes, the Silver Arrow edition is hard to beat. Now, the final verdict. The Mercedes-Benz SL63 AMG Silver Arrow edition isn't simply another fast convertible. It's a celebration of Mercedes-Benz history. It pays tribute to the legendary Silver Arrow race cars while still showcasing everything AMG stood for during one of its greatest eras. A handcrafted V8, timeless styling, and luxury without compromise. Performance without unnecessary complexity. Every drive reminds you why naturally aspirated engines still holds a special place in the hearts of enthusiasts. Cars like this aren't just getting older, they're becoming rarer and more valuable not only in monetary terms, but in what they represent. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Fender Benders, and let me know in the comments, would you take this SL63 AMG Silver Arrow edition over a modern SL63, or is the new generation the better choice? I've got many more exciting cars coming up, so stay tuned. This has been Faris from Fender Benders, and I'll see you on the next one.